Hello, my name is Jackson Arnsdorf, and today I'm going to be talking about a book called The Ranger's Apprentice: Ruins of Gorlon. I've chosen this book as it's one of my favorite childhood books, and one of the first novels I actually ever read while I was in grade school. I'll talk a little bit about the basic overline of the story itself, some of the key themes, and what it means to me. There are a total of 12 books in the series, and I have read all of them. I recently decided that I should go through and start to reread the whole series slowly as I have time. As being in college, it's very hard to find free time just to read. But getting into the story itself, basically it starts out in a obviously fictional land called Arlen, and basically that's like the main kingdom that is focused upon in the story itself. So at the very beginning of the book, you start out with finding out about a evil lord called Morgorath. And Morgorath is basically an exiled kind of baron from the Kingdom of Arlen. Basically, this Kingdom of Arlen is set up into 50 different fiefs, or essentially states, as we would think of them in the U.S. And at some point, he decided to rebel against the king, and they exiled him to the mountains of Rain and Night, basically outside of the kingdom. And there he pretty much dwelled and decided that he wanted to enact his revenge upon the current reigning king of Arlen, which is King Duncan. So we are given that background information that he is training up an army of wargulls, which are basically beast-like creatures, and that he has found some beast-like assassins called the Kalkara, which he uses to infiltrate the Kingdom of Arlen and is trying to kill King Duncan himself. Then the book switches gears and goes to the Redmont Fief, basically where we find ourselves in this fief and inside a ward, basically a kind of school for orphans who basically the fief basically brings them in and educates them and allows them to go into different career paths, such as like cooking or going to battle school to become a warrior or to go to be a ranger, which rangers is basically obviously called Ranger's Apprentice in the book, and that is where we find the main character going. His name is Will, and he basically has been told that his father was a mighty warrior and that he wants to follow his father's footsteps, but however, he does not have the physical qualities, you could say, to actually become a warrior like his best friend Horus, which has the perfect stature, perfect physical ability, all of the stuff that is basically sought for in battle school. So here we find some conflict between the two as they grow up. They are basically rivals their whole entire lives, which farther along in the book, there's a situation where they have to hunt down a boar, and the boar almost kills Horus, and Will has to save him. And basically, it just cements their friendship as they realize that they will be working together throughout their lives, basically. So basically, Will is chosen to go into be a ranger's apprentice underneath his master Halt, who is the current ranger of the Redmont Fief. And he starts his basic training, and obviously, rangers are very mistaken and they're not very known about. They're kind of like thought to have very dark powers and practice dark magic when in reality they don't. They're more like the eyes and ears of the whole entire kingdom itself, and they can be scouts in times of battle. So we find ourselves basically as following Will as he goes through his training, and then as I said before, they go on a boar hunt where Will saves Horus's life and cements their friendship. Then the Will and Halt go to a thing called the Gathering, which is basically where the 50 rangers, because one ranger per fief, meet up and basically just have a gathering together, talk about what's going on in the kingdom. And they find out that the Kalkara have infiltrated the Kingdom of Arlen. And after that, they basically go to hunt down the Kalkara. They hunt down the Kalkara and almost the demise of Halt. And that's basically where we're left off. So some of the main themes of this book, I would say, are courage and loyalty, as Will shows his courage in killing the boar and fighting off the Kalkara, as he has to save his master from the Kalkara, and loyalty in the same way where he's very loyal to his master and wants to protect him at all costs and save him. So what I got out of this book is basically trying to give your best effort at any challenge that comes your way, which I've definitely had to do in my life, throughout life when it comes to baseball and school and just life in general with being a Coast Guard kid, and also being loyal, as I'm a very family-oriented person. And I think that this book really showed me that being loyal is very important, and that moving all around the country really showed me that being loyal to your family is very important. But anyways, thank you for listening, and that was my speech about Ranger's Apprentice.